our clients who are beyond frustrated but not quite at lawfare.
Right.
Top of mind is our folks over in Naples who
Sure.
the wheels of 5 failed inspections for a footing inspection.
Yeah, after 14 months.
After 14 months. So, and it's so fascinating. Like, you have the average homeowner who is sitting here, they're not looking for a confrontation. They're expecting to get X, Y, and Z. And I kind of feel like it's a case of the frog being boiled. The heat is just turning up slowly, and then all of a sudden you realize you're sweating.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many times have we said it? If you think something is wrong, have a conversation with somebody else that can edify and say, "Is it you? Or am I
Right. The beyond frustrated point, right? I mean, that's really kind of where the clients just don't know what to do. And as a lawyer who helps those people through those situations, we hear all sorts of stories, and they all kind of go through the same kind of process, right? Like they all try everything. They try having nice conversations with the contractor. They try to be polite. They even try to advance payments sometimes to get the contractor to do what they want. That happens all the time. And then they get to a point where they get really nasty, or now the owner tries to get heavy-handed, and the rhetoric in the text, it's usually, for whatever reason, they seem to like to text with the contractors or vice versa, and it just, the rhetoric gets, ratcheted up, and it just becomes it makes a bad situation really that much worse. But the owners, they just don't know what to do. So when they get to the point that, they are at that frustration point, all they really want is they want their project to get finished. I mean, and they want the work to be done right. They want to get what they paid for, what they were expecting to get, and their expectations get met. They don't necessarily want to go into a lawsuit or lawfare.
Sure.
But they do know that they need help, and they do generally turn to an attorney, a construction attorney, to try to help them navigate through the rest of this project, and really what are their options, what's the best way to get through to my contractor to get him to do what I want to do. Or if it's just not going to happen, how do I do that the right way? How do I handle and some people are, I'll just fire my contractor and hire somebody different. You got to be super careful when you do something like that, because that is, if you don't do that the right way, you're making a bad situation worse. So you really got to reach out to the professionals who are in the position.
You have to, and just because you call an attorney doesn't mean you're going to court the next day and it's going to be ugly and it's going to cost you $100,000.
Right.
But start that conversation with an expert that's your advocate.
Yep. Right. If your situation is getting to the point where it's untenable and you're beyond frustrated, you do maybe start to need to think about an exit strategy and that's not the type of thing that generally happens in a moment's notice. There's things you got to put into place, certain notices, make sure you're protected and justified in ending the contract and the relationship.
I think it's very simply put too. If you're beyond frustrated, just making that phone call to an attorney or to another builder, phone a friend, that is instant relief, because you've taken action. You're not sitting here, it's not wishful thinking.
Right.
Taking action to take action.
Right. And even if that advice is you're kind of in a bad situation and there's not much you're going to be able to do that's going to be affordable for you, or it's just going to cost you a lot of money to get where you want, or just understanding where you are in your situation and what might be coming up. Like, if you're about to step off a cliff and you don't even know, and I can tell you, hey, I could point out to you, you're about to step off a cliff. That's super valuable to any. It just gives you the certainty of kind of, okay, now at least I know where I am, and that's the first step to figuring out how you're going to get to where you want to go.
Couldn't agree more.